I think, Error, who is replacing Mango. So that's going to be quite nice game to see. Here we go then, and Nomad is on. So let's turn on the fog of 4, as this is such a confusing start all the time. You can see that green, Yannick is placing a TC right around this spot, and he's probably not going to be overall happy. He does have gold in here, so that's a good one, but just one bar at the bottom, and not really any kind of sheep. He's also very close to Slugtarn, who is building a TC right next to him, so not really ideal, and he's going to be having those double bars, and this is going to be quite interesting fight if Yannick is going to be discovering this and potentially even stealing some from his opponent. Yep, just some extra bars and deer on the right side, which is still quite far away, and really this is not a sweet spot for Yannick, so let's have a look how the others are doing. Yellow is in a pretty sweet spot, that skull, having double gold deer in here, quite a lot of deer, so that's not really half bad, and also having quite decent amount of sheep right now, so that will help him. And look at how he's having extra deer on the right, and he's yet again very close to his opponent, Toady. This is really going to be quite curious map. Toady right next to Skull, Slugtarn right next to Yannick, and then we have the blue player, Follow Your Mind, on the very right side. He's having a pretty sweet spot, a lot of stone, a ton of stone, boar, sheep, berries, deer. Wow, he's having pretty much the sweetest spot of them all right now. And where is the last player, who is going to be here, the deal, and he's at the bottom, right under Toady, and well, he's having also pretty sweet spot with the deer, some kind of extra shorefish, which is a nice bonus, and also stone, gold. Oh yeah, this seems like that Yannick is at the worst spot, whereas Follow Your Mind is at the sweetest one. Yannick right now is really in a tough situation, because he doesn't know about anything at all. Oh, he's building a dock here. He has probably seen that Grey is here. Yeah, he has flared it, so he knows about it. But this placement of the dock is super curious, because it's right behind the TC of Slugtarn. I'm not exactly sure how long this is going to survive, and this will be a funny game, it seems, because obviously, without any kind of food right now, even though he knows about those boars, so he will know where to go, I'm not really sure what he plans to do about Slugtarn, who is going to be having quite assuredly a better start than him. Well, we'll see about that. You also see a red dog from Toady right next to Follow Your Mind, so that's probably going to be pretty much the similar case as is for green near the grey player, as obviously this is going to be easy to delete for the blue player, as probably there are not going to be any buildings for Toady, who is going to stick to his own base. And well, otherwise we see a bit of a scouting going on from LB10, who is trying to make sure that he covers as many ground and he knows what's happening around his map. He's so far having a decent amount of sheep, with Yannick still having absolutely nothing, just fresh sheep right now, returning home, and he is probably going to be heading for those boars. At least I think he should be, because without that he will be in a lot of problems, as he literally has absolutely nothing around him. Does he know about the right side? No, he doesn't. Bloom coming in for Slugtarn, but he could have actually noticed this boar, but he's right now going for this guy, and well, it's fun, and it's not going to be available to him anymore. So I'm just really waiting for the moment when green is going for it finally. So far not really happening, and he's happy with the sheep, but looking how Slugtarn is having right now 10 villagers, whereas Yannick 8, rather right now 2 villager difference. This is just telling you a world of information, and basically telling you that Slugtarn should be having a very easy game against Yannick right now. So it's probably going to be decided in the middle between Skull and Toady, with LB10 and Follow Your Mind, because on the left that's pretty much decided, and in the middle DZ Skull is having a pretty nice game, 14 villages, with LB10 also 14, so they should be the strongest players of each of the teams. Bit of an idle in here. That's not something that you want. He's right now trying to make sure that he lures the boar without any kind of problem, but he might be in a bit of one, because it's still quite a long way, and he's right now concentrating actually on microing this, because he will lose the villager if he's not careful. It's still quite far away. That's going to be one hit. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead. He's definitely dead, so it cost him a villager, and he's right now returning even back. So if Skull did not notice that, well, that would be pretty terrible, because he would be losing a villager to nothing, but luckily for him that did not happen, and he's having the hunt that he was hoping for. At the top, Follow Your Mind is not having any kind of problems, as he's basically in the sweetest spot of them all, whereas LB10 is also having quite nice game so far. Though in the middle, not any kind of problem with food, as he's still having quite a lot of deer in here, building even a mill because of that, but well, finally some extra sheep from Yannick, who is picking up the game, as he has to prevent any kind of shenanigans from his opponent later in the game. Those boars are right now going to be stolen, or rather, taken from Slaktar because they are basically his. I'm really surprised but that Yannick didn't take at least one of them. Not really sure why he didn't, but he probably didn't think it would be stolen because Slaktar would be paying attention, but well, will be seen if that wasn't a bit of a mistake. Cambria Nomad is pick of AoHD, so it's AoHD's map, and it definitely seems like that so far it's working in their advantage. Looking at the fishing boats, we have the most for Yannick, of course, because he needs them, as he doesn't have any kind of reasonable food on the land. But the least are for Skull, who is having just 4, and also Toadie, who is also having just 5. Slightly curious, because he does have the dock, whereas Yellow is having dock at the bottom, and really, he does have also enough fish, so they are just building enough, or rather different economies than the other players in here. Bit of a walling coming in. Trying to prevent any kind of shenanigans in the very early game. So this basically means that this gold is not going to be anyone's in the very early stage. And potentially this pond in the middle could be quite important because right now it's being used by LB10 and it really could be making a significant impact in the later game, especially in the Imperial Age with some cannon galleons, because obviously from this point you could be able to shoot both the base of yellow and also red and also teal. So yes, this is going to be very important to control for either of their teams, if we get there, which we probably should. A bit of a ball-in, basically trying to make sure that Slaktan has as much room as he can, and this is also very important as it's very close to Yannick, and yeah, yet again a castle drop about here is going to prevent Yannick from doing anything substantial right next to his doorstep. Barracks being built by the green player, with Feudal Age being the first actually for Yannick, but he's also going to be advancing at least villages, just 19, whereas Slaktan is advancing at 24. It's just a huge difference, and really, this is going to be, for CZs, the most important plays are going to be in here, in the middle, and the help from Follow Your Mind, because I think that Yannick will be just trying to buy as much time as he can to stop Slaktan from helping his allies. Everybody advanced into a Feudal Age with Follow Your Mind in the last one with 24 villagers. But LB10 is also at 24 and is already in. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, but he's also playing Chinese, so that's a bit of a difference as they're starting with extras. And tower being built is basically telling you that right now Yannick is trying to prevent any kind of potential rush or absolutely whatever that will be coming in the early aggression from Slaktar. You should probably finish the wall about here to prevent anything coming through, because obviously those places are going to be very easy, and he's trashing altogether. No, he shouldn't be. He doesn't have any kind of stone. Right now he should be seeing that watchtower is being built by his opponent. Does he know about it? Yeah, he knows. So he's switching somewhere else. And where is he going? Somewhere here. And just trying to prevent the walls here. Or rather destroy the walls so that he can build his own palisades and protect the tower as much as he can. Probably a bit of a raiding attempted by Yannick, but it might be stopped by the earlier Wallin by Slaktan. So let's have a look at the middle, where Wallin is right now finished by a red player and is definitely meaning business, even though Follow Your Mind is developing into stables and faster advance into the castle age. A watchtower, an outpost, so that's a pretty nice play, as he's going to be denying this tree line to Follow Your Mind, and Follow Your Mind should be paying a bit more attention to what is happening in here, but I'm kinda thinking that he doesn't know. And he doesn't know, and right now he does. He's probably noticing even the tower, and he doesn't have anything to do about, or rather, he cannot do anything about it, so it's just going to be a question of time. But this walling from red is probably going to be quite important, because it won't allow Follow Your Mind to do any kind of raiding at all. So yeah, that's definitely something he was hoping for, but that's not going to be happening. On the water, I don't see any kind of extra attack. Just right now, maybe Slaktan will be entering the fray, as he has built a dock but doesn't have any kind of fishing boats. Bit of a galleys from Toadie, who is probably going to try and control the water, but is he going to be successful? Not much. Aha, this is a grey. It's where grey is having boats, but otherwise, I don't really see any kind of extra galleys from either of the CZ's guns players, so it really seems like that they are not happy about this mapping, and probably will be a huge advantage for AoHD to play on their home map. On the right, really finished with the wall in here with the stone walls, so that's a pretty nice play. Yet another stable being built by Follow Your Mind, but he is just jumping into the castle age, the same as Slaktan and Skal, and he will be hoping to raid with a bit of knights in there, and then palisade walls are not going to be enough. Skal is already preparing with some scout cavalry and also extra stables, so he will be basically helping and doing the same as Follow Your Mind. Whereas in here, not much going on, as obviously with the defense and the towers at pretty much the correct places, Green is not having any kind of luck with finding something to kill. He has just right now built a house so that he knows what his opponents are doing, but looking at the economies, we have Yannick 31. Well, how did he get there actually? After the horrible start, he's actually coming back into the game quite fully, so that's very commendable and very nicely played, and he's even having more than Slaktan. But that's basically because Slaktan was advancing into the next age, and of course, Yannick is not advancing yet. Water battle at the bottom, where we see a bit of a fire ship from Follow Your Mind, basically killing any kind of attempt at raiding from the galleys from Tode. So obviously just one fire ship is going to be more than enough with the huge 6 pierce armor. And on the right side, not much happening, just some extra galleys from Tode coming in, and yeah, yet another fire ships from blue, and to get rid of all this nuisance, which is going to be very, very easy indeed. But fire ships are also coming in from Slaktan, who is trying to stop any kind of economy from Yannick, which is obviously a good idea, as Yannick is having pretty strange one, even though he is right now transitioned into farms. The boats were exactly what he needed to somehow survive the very hard early game. Right now there is a bit of a room to get into the base with raiding of the knights, but I'm not exactly sure if Follow Your Mind shouldn't be waiting a bit more. But with all those archers in, it might be just the correct time, basically to tell his opponent that you need to be super careful, because right now troubles are coming your way. In the middle we see a bit of a raiding by LB10, who is coming through as he wants, because obviously those walls are just from AoHD, and really this is kinda sloppy from CZ, I have to say. They should have finished with the wall in here as well, as this gate is it's just kinda problematic, and that's underestimating it, because it's exactly allowing what is happening in here, and that's Heal Knights coming into the economy of his opponent, Yannick, right now. Knight raiding attempted at Slaktan's base, which is going to be successful obviously, as he's not finished with the walling, but he needs to return a bit back, as he needs to protect his ally first. That might be just well done by Skal, and it really might be enough from the yellow player to stop what Teal is doing right now. Right now, I'm kinda thinking that Yannick would be just well off to advance it through Castle Age and wait for the crossbowmen for all those archers, as once they are crossbowmen, they will be quite good combo with knights and very hard to deal with for any kind of army from AoHD. Bloodlines and Wheelbarrow for LB10, Perit Archer armor for Yannick, so Yannick is going to be sticking with the archer line, it seems. And on the water, it really doesn't seem like that AoHD are going to be continuing with any kind of pressure, because this is just mopping up and cleaning up from Follow Your Mind with the fire ships and really killing absolutely everything in its path. Even Yannick is right now helping. And yeah, this is pretty much a waste of resources for Tode, I have to say, because really building galleys against fire ships, that doesn't make any kind of sense, and he just should be accepting that he has lost the water and he needs to concentrate fully on the land here. Not any kind of attack from yellow so far in the bases, but he is right now having a mangonel and trying to push through the walls, but since second row of walls is already finished, basically finished right now, it's going to be taking still quite some time before he is able to go through and ravage the economy of his opponents. Being prepared with quite some extra army from Chemos of the Persian player, who is still in the castle age and basically preparing to some kind of preparing for a raiding with his teammate Yannick on the left. They are having a way through in here, and they could very easily just raid their opponents on the stone. And does he have some kind of gold? Because so far I don't see it. In here. And it's going to be very wide open, because he didn't finish with the walling, and yeah, this is going to be a bit problematic for Slaktan, because with the hill, for the crossbowman, Botkin arrow. Oh wow. This is going to be just the correct moment, and not even the knights are going to be strong enough to deal with this, and this gold is definitely not going to be in Slaktan's power. This could actually be a game changer right there, because without the gold, Slaktan is basically toast. He cannot do absolutely anything, and he will be forced to switch in here, which is yet again under the power of the water, and the water is right now CZs. No, CZs have broken through the walls in here. Oh, this is going to be a shot into them. Oh yeah. Okay, so 300 gold that are just like that. Okay, that wasn't ideal for AoHD, and even though walls are cropping up and even more layers are just in here, still this is quite decisive push in here, and if somehow Skull can make this advance fast enough, he would be basically stopping the plan in its tracks, and AoHD are going to be having quite a lot of troubles right in here. Follow your mind just nicely booming with 3 TCs right now as a Persian. Yannick is having 1, 2, or rather Skull is having 3 TCs as well, whereas Yannick is having 1, 2 so far, but he was advancing into the castle age quite a bit later, and this castle is also pretty important as this is basically a defense of this tree line, and also the home base of Slaktan, who needs to protect all those villages and all those farms. Yet another TC being built for him, with LB10 being the first to advance into Imperial Age it seems. As he's advancing, and Toad is still in feudal, so is he slinging? Oh yeah, Toad is slinging into LB10. Okay, so this basically means that CZs have to really hurry up before this sling is going to be taking grounds. And it already is, because this is resulting into faster advance into the Imperial Age. And really this could be quite problematic, because once Chinese are in the Imperial Age with castles and all the Chukonus, that's very hard to deal with, especially when they can very easily switch into the camels. They are moving in CZs right now, and they are not really going to be facing all that much wall troubles here. And I'm just looking at exactly also this kind of pond, and yet again, once somebody advances into Imperial Age, Elite Cannon Galleons could be making all kinds of troubles for either of the teams. So they are pushing through, not really any kind of significant opposition right now waiting for them from Teal. Even though he is having some kind of army, it's not going to be enough, especially with combination of those monks. And on the left, it's just a question of time before Yannick has enough army to make life difficult for Slaktan, because he's still kinda curious why Yannick isn't camping near this gold. As this should basically be the main goal of his. Slaktan doesn't have any kind of gold, and I'm kinda thinking that he should be the Yannick should be scouting that. Yeah, he knows absolutely everything about the left side of the map. So I'm seriously curious, why isn't he controlling this gold? Well, outpost being built so that he actually knows what is happening in the green base, which is a pretty good idea. But this is... I really don't understand this, why Yannick isn't controlling this hill. He has archers that would be well in range of all those gold miners, and he would be basically putting Slaktan out of the game altogether. Even though slinging is going on from Toady, it still would be making life quite difficult for them, and really wouldn't be expecting Slaktan to be any kind of difficult opponent for CZ after that. Bit of a battle with some camels dead, but not really anything substantial. With Yellow still trying to make his way through, but not really all that much successful. Where's the battle happening? In here, with the camels from blue trying to actually kill the houses from red, but it doesn't really seem like there's anything substantial happening in here. Just a few camels with knights trying to retreat from the army of AoHD LB10, who is right now going for cavaliers, and actually Imperial Age is coming in for Follow Your Mind, and also Yannick. So yet again, the window of opportunity is slightly closing for CZs, because the longer the AoHD player is being slung, the longer he is having basically established himself and be a decisive force in the game. And well, yeah, he could be making a whole lot of difference in the game in that stage. And yep, this is exactly what Slaktan needs to be doing, and it's building the castle at the crucial position, and Yannick basically is coming way too late, and he should have been here like 5 minutes ago, and building exactly the castle that his opponent is building him right here. So that's a bit of a problem, and basically allowing Slugtime to come back into the game and be a problematic Persian. And Persians are always problematic because of their paladins and ability to switch into other kinds of units, like hand cannoneers and the like. So let's see if the Imperial Age is going to be quite faster for Yannick is going to be making the difference. It really well could be, because obviously with the trebuchets, they are going to be very hard to deal with, even with the mangonels in here, and the castle being dropped right now. The situation is quite sweet for Yannick, and he will be in just a sweet position to do anything about that. Right now, you can see that LB10 has broken through into the opponent's base, because it was obviously easy through the wall yet again, not being mirrored by CZ. So that's yet again the same mistake as was happening in the middle. It was exactly the same in here, and it's yet again going back to buy them, because the radiant is pretty strong as LP10 is slung, and obviously when you are slung you are having a quite bigger advantage and quite bigger army than your opponent can muster. But still, Follow Your Mind seems to be doing a pretty good job with defending. He has right now basically eliminated all the units, especially with the help of the DC and the fire, oh, and the castle fire. So right now he should be finishing with the walls. I'm really curious why he isn't, but he thinks he's comfortable enough, and he pretty much is, because the reinforcements from Deal are just now arriving in place. He's also switching into Chukonus finally, so that's going to be a bit of a change of venue, or rather of the army and the dynamics of the battle. And this strong attack from Yannick could be a bit too strong for Slugtime, because he doesn't have any kind of army. He's just now transitioning into Imperial Age and then Cavaliers and Paladins. But it might be just a bit too late, because with the Trebuchet and the extra attack from those siege ramps, well, they could be taking the castle down quite fast, and once that happens, yeah, there's not going to be anything that would be standing between the force of Yannick and the base of Slugtime. He's having the castle still in here, so he's basically prepared with all the stables at the back and very nice economy. He's right now at 91 villagers, which is still quite a few, quite a lot less than his opponent, but oh well, yeah. Okay, this is going to be quite a nasty surprise, because Follow Your Mind is arriving at the battlefield, and this is pretty much basically a 2 versus 1, which Slugtime shouldn't be able to defend, but at the same time, Follow Your Mind should be super careful, because on the right side he's right now being attacked yet again by Teal, but if it wasn't for this castle, I kinda think he would be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, but right now, yeah, with the castle up, he should be reasonably safe with the fire from those DCs. And Marinto, yeah, it sometimes happens. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's probably something from my headset, but yeah, hopefully it's not really all that annoying, but I know it sometimes happens. At the same time though, we see the GGs being called, and AoHD are recognizing that they are basically toast, because on the left Slugtime doesn't have anything to defend against the strong double, and he will be just eliminated without any kind of opposition. And since the attack on the right side from LB10 is not strong enough, yeah, there's not much that AoHD could be doing to turn this battle around. So pretty good job, and CZ are winning 3-0 and advancing into the semifinals against, well, we'll see, either NC or RFR, who are to yet finish their quarterfinal match. So pretty good job, and very nicely played by CZ. And looking at the starting position at Yannick, I really wouldn't be expecting that that would be something he could be doing against Slugtime, but somehow he did, and he really prevailed quite well. So pretty good job, and well played by CZ. So let's have a look at the achievements. Where LB10 was the MVP, but he was also being slung, so that's a reason enough. But since he was winning just by 100 points, but Follow Your Mind is just telling you that even the sling wasn't enough to overpower the strength of the CZ clan. Follow Your Mind winning both units killed and units lost, so that's basically also telling us that what we have seen at the very start of the game, that he was having the sweetest spot at the very start. Yep, that did pay off, and he did have the easiest game of them all. Even this link wasn't enough. Pretty strong economy. 144 from Follow Your Mind. It's quite a lot more than the best from AoHD, 103, and he was even slung a little bit then. Okay then, GG. GG.